Hey, everybody, and happy April Fools. Even though I'm not going to pull a joke on you, I really am not going to pull a prank on y'all tonight. Well, first of all, I want to welcome you to Adaptable Entrepreneurs. For those of you who haven't watched the show before, I'm Lisa Kipps-Brown, your host, and I'm just so excited to talk to Monifa. I jumped the gun and was going to go right in. I want y'all to know that Monifa is a veteran, a military veteran who was a nurse. And then she worked in corporate America. I mean, like high jobs, but now she owns her own business. And what I'm so excited about is that Monifa is able to live her life and be true to herself now and help other women do that. So she has an amazing story, and she just had a really cool announcement this week or the end of last week or whatever. But okay, Monifa, introduce yourself and let everybody know how you got to where you are today.
Mm-hmm. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Monifa Caines, and I am the founder and CEO of Queen of Spades Style. Now, I'm just going to tell you just a little bit about my background so you know how I came to be and have my own company. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, always wanted to help people. And then when I was going off to college, of course, chose the Howard University and studied nursing. Mm-hmm. After that, I served in the Air Force as a registered nurse and served for 8.5 wonderful years.
Oh, I didn't know how long you were in.
Yeah, 8.5 years. And then I decided to get out. I went into corporate America. But let me first tell you that a lot of times I did not know how much I would kind of have to change myself and myself. And the first lesson was right before I got out. I was sending my resume out. Of course, my name is Monifa, and I didn't get any phone calls back.
Oh.
Then I talked to one of my good friends, and she said, no. Don't put your first name.
Don't put your name. That kills
my own name. And so then I used my middle name.
Mm-hmm.
And
what is your middle name? Or
my middle name is Claudia.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah.
On my resume, all I did was remove my first name and then put Claudia. And I got phone calls back. So it started with my name. And every time I would apply for a job, I would use Claudia, instead of Monifa, just to get my foot in the door. But I've worked in various corporate America companies in which they're about Fortune 10 companies and had great roles, great jobs.
Yeah.
Each role, you had to look a certain way.
Yep.
Professionalism the professional look was one way. With your hair. It had to be straight. It had to be slicked back. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but a lot of women of color put a chemical relaxer in their hair. Now, what the chemical relaxer does is when it's applied, it's supposed to straighten our hair. And I'm from the time period of when we put a relaxer in, it has to burn.
Yeah.
We think if it's not burning, it's not working.
Hey, I'm older than you, and I the same thing for perms when I was growing up. So I got you there.
It has to burn because that means it works.
Yep.
So when it would be washed out, a lot of times I would have burns on my scalp. I would lose some hair.
Wow.
I would have some unhealthy dry hair. And I was doing this since the age of 12. No problem. That was the way we've always done it. And there was a certain time that I didn't question it. That's what we did.
Yeah, it's just what you did.
Exactly. So one day I was, I've been thinking about this for a while. I said, I'm going to stop hurting myself. I'm going to stop putting this chemical relaxer in my hair. And this is about the time where the natural hair movement was really starting to jump off. And I read up on it and I said, you know what? I haven't seen my natural hair in decades.
Wow.
So, yes, because I was
a surprise to even you.
Yes. So I had to relearn my hair, but I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stop putting this chemical in my hair and I'm going to grow the hair that grows out of my head and embrace it and wear that.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to put braids in my hair as the chemical was growing out. And I put braids in my hair and I put them in a bun and would go to work. So after a few weeks, I took the braids out. And because my hair wasn't really straight anymore, after I washed it, I slicked it back with so much gel. It
Mm-hmm.
was almost like a helmet because that was the look. I was like, I got to work looking, okay. And so I went to work and a manager walked by my desk and said, "Hey, you took your braids out." And I said, "Yes." And then he said, "Good. Now you look professional."
That sucks.
It does. Because if I were standing up, I would have fell over, but I was sitting down, but it hit me. It really hit me that when I wore braids, even though they never said anything to me,
Mm-hmm.
they did not respect the fact that I made that decision to wear a cultural hairstyle.
And
And
to just be yourself.
exactly. They say bring your authentic self, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe not. They really don't
Yeah.
mean it. And that I did not appear professional. And so I decided, I'm just really just going to be me. I'm going to wear my hair. I have to learn my hair. I have to buy products to see what works for my hair. And that is a journey in itself.
Yeah.
Here is the point where it started planting the seeds to the company I began. I would go in stores because I'm looking for hair accessories. My hair is a thicker texture now,
Mm-hmm.
not the thin texture it used to be. And I would walk through 2 aisles of hair accessories and come out with nothing because I realized that hair accessories were only made for thin hair textures or straight hair.
Yeah.
They were not made for thicker hair, for curly hair, coily hair,
Mm-hmm.
braids, twists, locks. No, just one way. So subtly, it was telling me that I probably shouldn't even have this thick hair because they don't invest in making accessories.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go to different stores. I would search online. I was exhausted. Finally, I said, I'm just going to start making my own. I started making my own head wraps. I started making my own hair combs, hairpins that were more follicle friendly for thicker hair, headbands. And a lot of my friends and just walking down the street, people would notice and say, "Hey, where'd you get that?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, I made it, but I love the creativity of it. I love talking to people that have the same issue, just
Yeah.
looking for simple hair accessories to accentuate their beautiful hair.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I said, I'm going to start a business that is inclusive. Whatever hair type you have, whatever hair texture, I have something for you. And so I sat down and I thought about, I'm going to start a business and it's going to be called, at the time, I first called it Queen of Spades Natural Hair Accessories.
Uh-huh.
And now it's Queen of Spades Style. But I just not only focus, and I changed the name because I just not only focus on hair accessories for all types of hair, but also other accessories to match the hair accessories. So
Yeah.
like bags, belts, and other things that'll be coming up.
Uh-huh.
Because when you walk out, I want you to have that finished look. And
Style.
when you wear an accessory from Queen of Spades Style, you will walk in a room and your style will announce that you have arrived, but without saying a word.
Yep.
Everybody will notice you. So, and that is the beginning of just the thought of me starting my business. Of course, I didn't really know what to do other than say I'm going to start a business.
Yeah.
But so I attended, and thankfully they accepted me dog tag, which gave me a great foundation in a lot of ways. And I also took some other courses, Project Opportunity, that helps veterans, mostly in Maryland, and also the Rosie Network. I took their to CEO program.
And our NASCAR team, we promote pro bono. Yep. So.
Yes. I think it's very important that at each stage of your company, one takes another class because you're thinking about things differently.
Yes.
And so most recently, I was congratulated by Macy's because I was accepted into their the workshop at Macy's program, which is a program, the oldest retail program for entrepreneurs, where they take you into a mini incubator, give you some education, and you may have a chance to work with Macy's to have your items a part of Macy's in stores and or online.
That is
So
so
I'm
exciting.
very fortunate that I had they reached out to me and
Mhm.
also embraced me into the program. But what I also want to tell people is that with everything going on, that's why it's important to take other classes.
Yes.
I always say, are you ready? If I was notified about the Macy's program last June,
Hmm.
I wouldn't have been ready.
Yeah.
If I was contacted in November, I wouldn't have been ready. But I was ready because I kept taking classes and kept learning.
You were
And
investing in yourself.
yes, kept growing my resume with lookbooks, pitch decks, executive summary, my finances, my books, and so on and so on. I would not have been ready for the opportunity to take hold of it. So I encourage everyone at different stages in your company as you grow to keep taking classes.
Yeah, that's such a great point. And also to surround yourself with
Yes.
people who challenge you. And that doesn't mean to give your friends up and leave
Yeah,
them
yes.
behind. But the only way that you can keep growing, it's like lifting a weight. The only way that you can keep growing, and I don't necessarily mean money,
Yes.
because that is not obviously hasn't been the goal of my career. The people that know that has not been the thing that I put first, even though I've been doing this 25
You're
years.
so rich, Lisa. But
I'm rich in other ways
yes,
because I was able to do the things for my family
there
and
you
care
go.
for my mom and all this stuff. But if you continually invest in yourself by continuing to learn and surround yourself with good people that you can learn from, and you never know who they know.
That's
And
right.
in writing my next book, by the way, Monifa is in it. It's called Disrupt Your Now. It's
Yes.
for entrepreneurs who want to reimagine their business and life. But one of the themes that so many people I've interviewed for the book and on this show that comes across constantly is you have to be ready
Mhm.
when opportunity is there, because so many people think I have to look for the opportunity and
Mhm.
then figure out how to get it. They don't understand. No, you have to be ready.
Thank you, Lisa. When lightning strikes,
Yep.
are you ready? And that's just not saying, well, I have a business. Are
Yeah.
you prepared for everything they're going to ask you to send them?
Uh-huh.
You have everything ready to in a folder and file and different things, that when they want to evaluate your company, can you send them everything?
Exactly. You
So it
can't
is so
say,
important.
oh,
Mhm.
I'll get back to you in a
Yeah.
week.
Nope.
I got to call somebody and have them do that
No.
for me.
But somebody else is ready.
Uh-huh.
So yes, that's why I asked the question, are you ready? But you also brought up a very good point about having people around you. And I have wonderful friends that support me, family too, but also I am a part of a village, Veterans Grow America,
Yep.
where we're like family. We want
That
to
is
see
such an awesome
it
program.
is it we want to see each other win. We
Yeah.
share information, we share knowledge, we bounce things off of each other,
Mm-hmm.
and we work together to make all of our dreams happen. So looking for like-minded people that want to see you win and you want to see them win,
Yep.
you got to surround yourself, because business is tricky, and especially if you're starting off in a one or two man woman shop. So
Mm-hmm.
you're going to need people to bounce things off. You won't know everything, but other people have done it,
Yeah.
and Veterans Grow America is great. Also, check out mentorship programs. I know I attended G Cubed, which Vernon Green, he shares his thoughts and his knowledge and his time
Mm-hmm.
to entrepreneurs and give them some honest feedback and works with them. And he even opens his company to say, if you need us, we're here.
Wow.
So there are resources.
That's
And
amazing.
sometimes just asking around.
And Bunker Labs is who nominated you for the Macy
Yes.
thing, right? So
Mhm.
for people out there who don't know what Bunker Labs is, it's a nonprofit that helps veterans become entrepreneurs. It helps mentor, train, helps build business. They have all different kinds of programs, but it's a great organization. And the founder is also in my book, Todd Connor.
Oh, yes, Bunker Labs. And I can't say enough about them because
Yeah.
I'm a part of the Bunker Labs launch online, which there's a lot of products and a lot of knowledge that they post. And then not just talking about bringing people on and interviews, but also documents, posting the websites that you can read with and look for knowledge
Yeah.
and whatever. But I was a part of their program and learned a lot. And
That's
also, you're also a part of the Bunker Labs community, which is huge. And there's people in, I think, practically every state.
Yeah, I
That is a
think
part
so.
of Bunker Labs.
Yeah. It's just so important. And I tell people, even people who aren't entrepreneurs, I tell them, and they don't get it, being an entrepreneur is one of the loneliest things in the world. And people are like,
Mm.
how can you be lonely? You're married, you live with your husband, you know, and of course my kids used to live here and all that. But the thing is, this is your journey and you're the one that's owned it. And even if you own a business that you have 20 employees, you are still the owner. It's still you. And it's so important.
It starts with you. It
Yeah.
ends with you.
It's
Yeah.
so important to surround yourself with other people. They don't have to be in the same industry. They don't have to be the same size business or anything, but they know how you feel.
Yes.
Everything begins and ends with you.
Right. You don't have to go into explaining for 10 minutes before they nod that they understand.
Yeah.
A lot of them have been through what you're talking about or can identify with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
And a lot of times people are intimidated by people who are a lot more successful than them. But what I have found over the years is most entrepreneurs really want to help other entrepreneurs. That's not saying they're going to go out and do the work for you, but they really want to give advice and mentor people because they've been there and they know how it feels. Have you found that to be true?
Oh, definitely. I found that people that are successful, a lot of them that I have reached out to want to turn around and help someone else.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, I'm always a part of a group, right? So there's a group also called 1 Million Cups where I presented last year. And it's a lot of business owners that just sit back, take in what you say, and successful business owners and give you feedback, tips, even sometimes connect you.
That's great.
So, but they're there. They don't get paid for it, but they're there because they want to help you become as successful or more successful than them.
Yeah. Well, I want to say we met last year through LinkedIn.
Yes.
I'm not even sure really how we first met.
I don't remember.
Probably had common friends because
most likely. Yeah.
Yeah. So for people that don't know me, my husband's retired Navy and I do pro bono work for a NASCAR team that races to combat veteran suicide. So I have a big military network, veterans, active duty, all kinds of stuff. And that's how I met you. But I feel like I've known you forever, Monifa. And I have to say, today I was on your Facebook page and I missed voting. I didn't want to do it 2 days late, but for Employee of the Month, y'all, this is hilarious. Monifa's contest or whatever, where you can vote for Employee of the Month. She's dressed. What do you have on? And the one on the left that you're like the regular worker.
Okay, so I have 3. There's customer service.
You have a customer service one, and you're dressed like really casual. The middle one is her cat or one of her cats, and that's the HR director, right?
Well, right, but she keeps the morale up. So,
and then there's Monifa on the right, that's CEO, and I just love that though. Every time I see that, because I've seen you do it before, and I just laugh every time because it really is a testament to people what a business owner does, how many hats we wear, but I also laugh because of our cats,
No doubt.
Super. She
That is
won't
a
come,
play.
Monifa. She won't come out because she knows I'm on here with you. So
We'll
if
get
y'all wonder what the
We'll get her.
heck I'm talking about, I have a cat named Thumper that last year when I first started doing videos, every time I would turn the camera on, she was all up in my face and, everywhere. And her name is Thumper. And Monifa started this hashtag free Thumper.
That's right.
Well, as soon as Thumper knew she was in demand, she's like, I'm out of here. So she'll come sometimes and lay on the floor and roll around, but she hardly ever gets her camera anymore.
You can't get her.
She's a
but she'll show up.
Yeah, I think she's trying to get a better contract.
I see. But to tack on what you were talking about before with CEOs, or if you have a company, you wear so many hats. You are the CEO, the COO, the CFO, the CMO, customer service, logistics, you name it. And I have that on my website as Meet the Team.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Most of the pictures are me.
I love it. But the other thing it does, too many people feel like if they have a company, they have to fake it and act like they're big, even if they're not. Mm-hmm. And so I love that you're being authentic right then and there. You're being true to yourself, letting people know right up front, this is what this company is. So they know right away. If they want to work with a big company, you're not the company to work with. It saves you time. It saves them time.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. And I put myself out there.
Yeah.
And hopefully, people just don't judge you on that, but
some will, but
who's running the company.
They're not the ones you want to work with anyway. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I bet you most of them who do are not business owners. They are the employees of other businesses.
Probably.
So at it, y'all.
I do it all. Yeah.
Well, and when you talk to people, even in your family, but everybody, when you own a business, you have hard times and you might complain or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Even in your own family, even as long as I've been doing this, every once in a while, somebody will just say, well, why don't you just get a job? You could be making, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just working. I'm like, because this isn't a job. This is my life. This is what I love to do. And I don't turn it on at a certain time and turn it off at a certain time. It's just, and people who don't own a business don't understand that. Now, there are a lot of business owners who are like that, but they're not entrepreneurs. There are people who just own a business, they show up, they leave. There's a big difference in a business owner and a true entrepreneur. And you, Monifa, you are a true entrepreneur because you had a problem that you couldn't find a solution for. So you're like, hell with it, I'm going to solve it myself. And that's what a true entrepreneur does.
Right. I'm very passionate about my company. And I say my company grew out of necessity, and passion. Mm-hmm. So with anything I do within my company, this is, even with those bad days, I remember why I started the company. Yeah. And I get back out there then.
Yeah, because if you think of the worst day on your job, but then having to fit yourself in this box of the corporate world, it's like no comparison. I haven't been in the corporate world in decades because I've owned businesses. I started my first business in 1990. My last job was in 95 as a controller for an international software company. But even then, I only did it for 2 years.
Yes.
From 90 I owned my own company. But I used to work for a big corporation. And, it's great because it's a stable job. But I was an accountant, number one. And number two, it was in an industry that was very traditional. And I'm just like a free spirit. And I'm, I do good work and everything, but I'm me. And I'm not going to act like I'm not me. So this was in the 80s, like 85. And I had short hair and I would wear it spiky sometimes, not like a mohawk spike, but, a little bit tousled. And then I would wear hose of different colors and different colored shoes. I always wore dress or suit, skirt, whatever to work. But I remember one day walking down the hall at our executive offices, and like the big man in charge was like, "Ooh, pink hose." And I acted like he meant it like as a compliment. I was like, "Yeah, no, you just love them." He really meant like, "What the hell are you doing with pink hose on?" But I didn't care. But the thing that I want to point out about that is I know how hard it was for me. I just didn't fit in. I felt like I was like, "Oh my God." It was like going to school, get in, be miserable all day and then leave. And I couldn't be myself. But the difference is I was picking the clothes I wanted to put on, and I was picking the way I wanted to style my hair. It wasn't somebody telling me the hair that's growing out of your head is unacceptable, and the color, your legs are too white or whatever.
Right.
And I want people to understand that, we're not trying to make this a huge deal. Like, I don't know how to say it right, Monifa, but what I want people to understand is try to take a step back and think about your clothes like me versus the actual hair that's coming out of your head. Or let's say if it was a man and they were like, "Well, I'm sorry, you can't work here if you're going bald. You've got to go get hair plugs or get a toupee."
Yes.
That would be a way that a man might be able to begin to understand.
Yeah, I think more and more people are trying to, and I say trying to look at other things through different lens.
Yeah.
It was ingrained, and especially within magazines and movies and TV shows on what is beautiful. And I'm talking about, I can talk about other things, but about hair right now.
Yeah.
Straight long hair. Yep. And so, what's the professional look? What's the beautiful look? Yes, you have to get it bone straight, and it has to be long as you can get it, so it can blow in the wind.
Yeah.
But everybody isn't born like that, and
that's right.
We morph ourselves to emulate anybody else. And I also let people know, especially with people that are Black or of African descent, our hair really grows up, and that's why we call it our crown. And so, but there is a reason it grows that way. And so to tell us to change it, it's ugly and doesn't look good or
right,
even though that's what grows out of our head. We are now really, there's a resurgence of just being who you are and loving the skin you're in and the hair that you have. And now that people are embracing their authentic selves and turning that into their authentic style, where do they go to find anything to accentuate who they are today?
Queen of Spades Style.
Yeah, that's one reason where I come in.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I want to say, but before we get off in more serious stuff on the hair thing, now I'm 59, so growing up in the 70s, I got to live through the times when people had afros out the here, and I loved them. There was this really cute guy at our high school. Now, I was only in elementary school, so I only saw his picture in the yearbook, in my cousin's yearbook, but he was so handsome, and they would always have like the longest haired girl and the prettiest and the cutest and the funniest. And his was like the biggest fro, and I loved it. But then it gradually started getting out of that, and everybody started wearing really short hair or whatever. And I love all the natural hairstyles now. And when you wear your hair, and the way you twist it.
It's called a 2-strand twist. Yes.
What is it called?
2-strand twist.
Is that what's in the photograph of you?
Yes.
I think that is so pretty, and I'm like, I'm so jealous. I wish I could do it. And that's the thing, that when you're able to embrace your true self, then other people are able to appreciate it.
True. That's very true. And that's one reason Queen of Spades Style. Anybody that buys anything from us, I also invite them to head wrapping tutorials live, Zoom teaching, because if you buy something, I want you to wear it, but I want you to to know how to wear it, which style to wear it that suits your personal style.
Yeah.
With one head wrap, if you buy a head wrap, there are so many ways to wear a head wrap. You may not know, but that's where I come in, because we want to make sure when you wear it, you have selected the way you want to wear it that is becoming for you.
That's so awesome, because any other product or most other products, you're going to walk in a store, you're going to pick it up, you're going to buy it, you're going to get home, and unless you already know, unless Monifa's already taught you how, or your mama did or something, you could be like, I don't know what the heck to do. But that brings me to another point. A while back, you and I were talking, and I can say this because I'm a white woman. I was like, I really, really like those head wraps, but I don't know if I'm supposed to wear them because I'm very self-conscious. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm, cultural appropriation. I don't want anybody to feel like it's disrespectful, but I love the wraps. And I was like, I don't know, can I wear them or not? And I thought it was so interesting. Your reply was, of course, but that if you want to be conscientious of that there are specific knots that you can use and that would signal to somebody else who knows, I guess, that, hey, I love this, but I'm not trying to be you. Or is that right? Am I explaining it right?
Yeah, pretty much. And I'll start off with, I do pop-ups right now. I go to Veterans Grow America, and we're doing so many pop-ups on a lot of military bases. But I notice when I set up my table and I'm standing there and I'm waiting to talk to people, that there are a few women that walk maybe 12 feet away from my table and just look, and they walk by and saunter by, and then I'll see them walk by again. And the women that walk like 12 feet away from my table are all white. And so I see them lurking and looking, but they don't want to come.
They're afraid to come over.
Yes.
Because they're, instead of being brash like me and just ask,
yes.
And you know what? I might wouldn't at a place like that. They're afraid to come over. So
yes. So when I see them, if I'm not talking to someone else and I look up and I see them for the second time, walking in the back, looking, I call them over because it's okay to ask a question. It is 100% okay to look. It is okay to have a conversation with me. Now, you're right. If you're saying you just don't want to walk outside and people think that cultural appropriation, but that's why I teach so many various ways to wrap or tie a head wrap so that you can walk out the door with this sort of knot and a matching handbag and have a beautiful outfit. And plus I have not only I have different patterns, different colors, and I'm adding in different fabrics, which, looking at your hair, will hang and drape very nicely, and we can tie it in a bun in the back.
I don't have any hair.
Oh, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. And in fact, soon I will be donating some of my head wraps, but actually giving classes. But I'm getting in touch with alopecia organization.
Oh, that's so great.
Burn survivors and cancer survivors. We're not only donating, but we're going to have a class because I want to teach them how to wrap their head.
That's so cool.
Thank you. But that's my thing. But there are different ways that you can feel comfortable. There are different fabrics. There are different patterns. And I work with people, whether they're Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, to find out what looks good for their skin, their tone, what do they want to wear it for? Yes, that's a conversation we have if they want to have it.
Yeah. Well, for y'all listening, I had talked to Monifa about maybe sometime doing a live demo where we get on and she teaches this old white chick how to tie head wraps and stuff so that I don't look stupid, number one, and number two, people don't go, Okay, does she know she isn't black?
Yeah.
But anyway, so if y'all are interested, message us or put a comment there because I just think it would be really fun to do. Plus, it would be a way for us to see all of your fabrics. I want people to
Mhm.
know that you're actually helping build one woman-owned businesses
Yes.
throughout the world, correct? Because
Yes.
all of your fabrics and materials come from businesses that are owned by
We are sourced in Senegal, and I work with a wonderful entrepreneur out of Senegal. And want to work with female entrepreneurs around the world.
women.
But right now, I'm working with one in Senegal, and she employs people in her community. So I do want to give my business to other female entrepreneurs around the world, female artisans that authentically hand make the items, whether it's head wraps, sleep bonnets, headbands, the belts, the purses. You'll see every time you put one on, it was handmade by someone in Senegal.
So, yes, everything you buy from Monifa is handmade. You're not getting something that was made on a machine in some sweatshop
Oh,
somewhere.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
in sweatshops. I will say I work with other female entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
but no, I do not deal with
Yeah, and
sweatshops.
you're helping to
Yeah,
support women and helping empower women throughout the world. And I have to say the colors are so beautiful.
thank you so much. Thank you for that.
Um,
I chose vibrant patterns and colors because I want to be seen and I want you to be seen.
yeah.
And I'm every Queen of Spades style woman, I say, is part of the tribe. And you're confident and you walk around knowing you look so good.
And you do look good, Monifa.
Thank you.
Men are probably like, why the hell am I listening to this? Because they're talking about hair stuff. Look, y'all, this
No,
applies to anybody. It just,
no, it's okay
just so
because
happens.
I had winter hats for men and I had scarves and they did
Oh,
very well
uh-huh.
on my site. So yes, sometimes if I have an idea of things that I can make for men, I get them made.
But
But
also, what we're talking about business wise, it doesn't matter the product, doesn't matter the industry, the same things apply.
yes,
Figuring out what is a problem that you can solve, how can you solve it in a way that makes you happy and that
mhm,
helps you fulfill your own personal goals in life, and that it's not all about money, that it's about helping other people as well.
that's right. That's right. And I'm happy to say, even though I have a beautiful business and starting it off, it's up and down.
Yeah.
But there's no place I would rather be than the CEO of my company, and I can be who I am.
Yep. And you started it during COVID, right?
I launched right okay. I
Right
was supposed
before.
to launch on March 13th, 2020.
Uh-huh.
And that is the week that everything was shut down for COVID. So,
Yeah, because I remember seeing on LinkedIn that, that you said that you were delaying, but I didn't at the time, since we hadn't known each other that long, I didn't realize that it was the launch. At first, I
yeah.
thought it was like the launch of a new product line or something.
Oh,
And
no.
then later I realized
Yeah.
that we have a couple of our friends on here. Well, Amy T. Meyer, do you know Amy? She's a veteran
Mhm.
as well. She said, "Thank you for your service." She lives in Washington State,
Oh,
and she's a good friend of mine that I met
wonderful.
through
Thank
the
you.
team, and so she's somebody that I need to hook you up with. And Kim Lee,
Mhm.
she says she loves seeing your energy, Monifa.
What?
We're
Thank
all
you.
beautiful in our own way. Kim Lee is my friend that helps me with marketing, the one that I told you that gave me the awesome pineapple.
Yes, yes, yes.
Grapefruit, the grapefruit hard seltzer, spiked
Mhm.
seltzer that was so good.
Love it. Yeah,
So,
love it. Yes.
yeah. Oh, okay, so tell everybody how they can find out more. Wait a minute. Oh, we still have a little time. Do you have time to talk some more? Or do you
I
have a
do.
meeting coming up? Okay.
No, no, I have
Okay.
time for you, Lisa.
Okay. Because I can't see well like at this distance. I'm like not far enough, not close enough. So I thought it was 7 like I thought it was almost 8 and it's only 7:40. So let's talk about when you very first started your business. What was your like biggest hurdle in actually getting started?
Um, I always say this. My biggest hurdle is wondering, what do I do now?
Mhm.
You can apply for your business license. You can say, I have a business, I'm a CEO, but what do you do now?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I went and took a course, a 5-month course at Dog Tag, because I wanted to, the more you know, as much as you can, because you're still going to make mistakes as an entrepreneur, but the more you know, the less mistakes you make, and mistakes are money.
Yeah.
And since I'm bootstrapping my business, I needed to get into a wonderful course that would give me a great foundation on what to do and how to do it after I apply for a business license.
Mhm.
And what questions I should ask, what should I think about, what should I know, contracts, marketing, media, everything. It was fantastic. And yes, am I a student of YouTube University? Definitely. But there is nothing like that. And this, I know a lot of people say the old days. This is pre-COVID, the old days.
Yeah, yeah.
When we sit in a class in front of each other and actually talk and
Mhm.
go through problems and go through each of our businesses and dissect them and really learn from each other
Yeah.
and learn from SMEs, the instructors, the guest speakers. And so instead of, just learning off of YouTube, marry that up. And there's courses around, and it's free. Look for a free course with the state, with the SBA, with SCORE, find a mentor with SCORE, find entrepreneurship clubs, free programs that teach entrepreneurs. And I would definitely get into something that's formal, so you can marry that up with what you are learning at home.
That's great advice. Now,
Yeah.
how did you hook up with the entrepreneur in Senegal?
Oh, well, I have a great friend, Natasha, and I will tell you that everybody's not meant to work with each other. And I've been
Yeah, that's for
interviewing
sure.
and going through other people that I wanted to work with, but sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And my good friend Natasha, who's a friend slash mentor slash sister to me, she introduced me to one of her friends in Senegal, and that's how I met her. And it's just, I always say, Lisa, I don't believe in accidents.
Yeah, I don't either.
So I mean, I met her at the right time.
That's
I met
cool.
this woman at the right time, and we have a great partnership. And I'm proud of what she's doing in Senegal.
That's wonderful. I need to have her on the show sometime.
Well, I am sure she would love to.
And I also need to connect with Natasha on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
If we're not already connected. We might be, but I don't know.
you know Natasha. Keep your hair, headgear.
Oh, yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
yeah, I know Natasha, and we are
Mhm.
connected. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's it. That's it. Yes.
Yeah, she's awesome. So, excuse me, I want to ask you, what has been your biggest surprise as an entrepreneur?
I guess my biggest surprise would be how hard it is as an entrepreneur to keep the momentum up.
Yeah,
You can launch, you can have a new line, and after the first 2 weeks, how do you keep growing your customer base? How do you keep the sales at a good level and then on an incline? It's just not you release your website and
yeah.
there
It
is
magically happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much work that goes in behind the scenes to
Mhm.
make sure that you are growing your customers, you're reaching out, you're creating that interest, and then you're getting more sales. So I think the most surprising thing was the hard work is not over. It actually just begun.
Yes,
You know?
exactly. You think it's done when you get all that done, and then you're like,
Oh yeah.
"Ooh."
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Mhm.
So you do most of your marketing online, or and I know you do the Veterans Build America
Yeah.
pop-up shop,
Mhm.
which are awesome. If y'all ever get the opportunity to go, you should go because there's some really unique businesses and products there. So I know you do that, and I know you do online. Do you
Mhm.
do what other types of things do you do for brand awareness?
Well, I will tell you, I was terrible at marketing at one time. Um,
You have really good videos, I'll tell you
Thank you.
now. Do you do
Thank
them,
you.
or do you have someone do them for
No,
you?
I mean, I use an app.
Yeah, they're really good. They've become very good.
Thank
Yes, they're
you.
very
Thank
good.
you.
That's why it's good.
And I
I
rely on my customers to make their own videos too. But
uh
here it is again. I took another course from my friend Yasmin, who is a marketer professionally, and I learned so much from her that as soon as I took a marketing course, my game changed.
That's
You
awesome.
know, of course, I went online and read and learned and listened to people and stuff like that. But to take a course into something I was not that great in,
uh
it changed the game for me.
So what do you think changed the most, or that
Mhm.
you were doing or thinking that changed?
My content, my wording,
Okay.
phrases, um, just the little bites of words you put out so people would want to read it.
Mhm.
I I knew it. I knew it. Yeah.
Look, I see a
I
cat.
know, right?
I
Okay.
wish Thumper would come. She's gonna come as soon as we get off. I know it.
Okay. So, and your different platforms that you are
Yeah.
um, releasing that in and getting into different groups,
Mhm.
whether it's Facebook groups, getting on, connecting with people on IG, just looking for different groups outside of social media to have like a ladies' night,
That's a good idea.
do,
Yeah.
do personal and private shows.
Uh-huh.
And so I just really have expanding how I'm using the different platforms to get my brand out there.
That's great. Because I see what you do, through Facebook and LinkedIn, and your own Clubhouse too, right?
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
I thought so. But I didn't know what you're doing outside of those platforms.
Yeah, with Clubhouse, I mostly listen. I'm in a few rooms that I jump
Yeah.
through, but I haven't done anything on my own yet.
Well, I've talked a lot, but imagine that, Monifa.
Yeah.
But I tend to not go in the business rooms on there. I tend to go in the rooms that are about like gratitude and positive thinking and stuff because I don't really want to be sold to by a guru who's on there talking about how great
Yeah.
they are. Now, if it's a room that people are sharing their story and learning from each
Mhm.
other, that's great. But I also don't like to be in huge rooms unless I just want to listen, like if I want it on as background noise, like if you're
Mhm.
listening to the radio.
Mhm.
But so I'll tend to go in rooms like 35 people or less because that way I can actually talk and I've met the most amazing people that way.
No, I mean, I hear you. I go into every type of room, whether it's business, whether I'm listening to someone, whether other people are pitching their ideas. I've even go into international rooms
Mhm.
where they're talking about Meghan and Harry, and they invite the only American in the room to talk. You know, I mean, it's whatever
Fun.
you want it to be.
But
And
isn't it fun though to be able to me, I love it because there's a difference in hearing people's voices and the typing because you don't know who's typing. It could be automated, it could be whatever. And
yes,
you know, and like I've met Stacy Houston, who is the director of Kevin Bacon's
oh,
6degrees.org.
yes, yes.
Really awesome young woman. I met Dr. Hobie Wedler, who's
Mhm.
a PhD chemist, blind PhD chemist, and my father was blind. So we just like totally hit it off, and just some really, really amazing people. I've met a lot of veterans and military spouses.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the reason I'm saying all that, anybody that's listening, if you're not in Clubhouse yet, you should go reserve your username. You have to be friends with someone who is already on it because you have to be invited, and you can. I don't know if they have Android yet. It was only
I
Apple.
don't
I
think
guess it
so.
still is.
I don't
Yeah, I
think
haven't paid attention. I'm too busy writing my book and too busy doing the things that Kimley's like. It's like herding cats are getting me to do
my God.
what I know I need to do and she wants me to do. So, what are your okay? So the Macy's thing that's like a vendor development thing. That's another training thing, but you had to be nominated and then accepted, right?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Nominated, applied.
Oh, okay.
There are various ways to
Well,
get
you
in.
can't just walk in and go, "Hey, I'm ready to do this." They select people.
I mean, you can, but they'll escort you out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, they don't take just anybody.
Selected.
They're
Yes,
very selective.
yeah.
About it.
Yeah.
Daggone it, I was going to show
I know
up.
you were going to show up, weren't you? I know.
Go for an hour.
I knew you were going to do that.
But so it's like a several months long workshop course?
No. It's just a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
It's just a couple of weeks of a workshop to prepare you to see possibly if you can be a vendor. Yeah. But Lisa, I wanted to ask you, if you are going to wear a head tie and tie it, do you think you would feel really comfortable wearing?
I think I would if I had fabric and colors that I felt comfortable with, and if I felt like it was tied in a way that I didn't worry, that I wasn't self-conscious.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I wear ball caps a lot because I'm like, I'm just gonna fling this ball cap on because I don't want to mess with my hair. I'm not a real like prissy whatever, and not that I can't fix up, but a lot of times I just don't feel like, so I'll put a ball cap on. But wearing something like you have on, it looks so beautiful. It's not the ball cap,
No, it accentuates you, and that's what I just want to know, because even though I want to get our class together, I just don't want to teach you and then you put it in the top drawer.
Yeah, I think that I would. Now, until I actually wear it and go out, then I will know. But I have to tell you, the area that I live in, that I grew up in, it's about 50% Black. Well, I mean, our high school, and I've not just lived here. I mean, I moved away for like 20 years and then moved back. But, we were just so used to such a wide mix of, integration. But so I can promise you, anywhere I go, I will be around a lot of Black people. So I will know immediately whether they're like, what the heck is she doing? I'll know whether I feel comfortable, because I don't live in white bread city where, there's nobody of color around. I think that I will feel comfortable. My cousin lives in Des Moines and she is dying. She wants you to do the workshop too. She's dying to learn how to wear it and everything. And now because she lives in Des Moines, there are a lot less people of color. So it would probably take her a lot longer to find out if she felt uncomfortable or not, just because of the people she's around,
Right.
Does that make sense? And I hope how I said it doesn't sound disrespectful, but I love living in a place that everywhere I go, there's all kinds of people.
Yes.
It's not just people that look like me. So
Right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you want to learn, that you want to wear it, and you understand and admire the beauty of it.
Well, and I have to say, Monifa, I think it's just educational. Even if somebody does not have one of your crafts, if they have anything and they're watching you and they're, and they see what you're doing, then it helps them understand, because I'm sure that there are traditional knots that you could explain to us mean very specific things, and we don't know. And, I think it would be so interesting to learn all of that stuff about Black culture. And I guess not just Black, but I mean, I don't, because I'm ignorant, because I'm white, maybe it's different knots for different people of color. But I think it would be so interesting to learn what the traditional knots are.
Yes.
And why they're so important. And then these are the ones that we can feel comfortable using because it's not being disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are different ways to, like I said, tie a head wrap, and we can definitely work on the ways that you feel comfortable and look good on you. And I do teach the history of the head wrap, the origin, how it went through different periods of time, and how it came to be now. And in the beginning, yes, more so in the beginning. I'm not saying it doesn't apply now, of what each knot or the way it was tied signified. Loyalty, married, single, looking for someone, somebody died. There are different ways.
Oh, interesting.
To communicate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I go through that too. So
do you already have YouTube videos up where you talk about things like that people can go learn from?
Mm-hmm. I have a YouTube channel. And it's not public yet because I'm still loading more videos on it. And the videos are the different ways to tie a head wrap. So each style will have its own video.
Okay.
Yes.
But so you don't have anything up yet about the history of the different knots and all that?
No, I teach that in the live class.
Yeah. I think it would be cool if you did just some short videos about that. Maybe just one about each knot, like a minute about each one, short ones, because I just think that there are a lot of people who are interested in topics like that and they're afraid to ask, and they don't have a friend. Like I have you that I can ask.
Definitely.
I don't have somebody that, I'm not going to walk up to somebody out on the street and say, will you explain this to me? And so, but a lot of people don't, even if they have friends of other races, they might not feel comfortable to ask. And I'm just a blabbermouth, so I ask.
Right. You're very forthcoming. And
I am, and I hope I'm not being disrespectful, though.
Feel comfortable. And I hope, depending on who's in your circle, that if you have a question, that you feel comfortable asking your friends.
Yeah. I have a wide circle of friends all over the world, and and I have people here that I've grown up with, new friends, everything. But you're special to me because number one, you're a veteran and how I met you, and number two, that I can have these conversations and learn things from you that I wouldn't have been in a situation to even ask my friends of color,
Yes.
You're not just sitting around and going, oh, tell me the history of your,
right. Right.
So I really appreciate that I have you as a resource to learn from.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate our friendship and how we could be candid.
I'm going to cry now.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Okay, tell everybody how they can find you.
Yes. Well, my website is queenofspadesstyle.com. Queenofspadesstyle.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Queen of Spades Style. Just look me up there. On Instagram, I'm Queen _of _spades _style. So, but if you just go on Queen of Spades Style on Facebook, you'll be able to find me, like my page. You'll see different styles, different head wraps, some of my customers, and other things that are coming along. I'm also forming a Facebook group that's Queen of Spades Style Tribe, where we'll get to talk about, and I want all different types of people where we will get to talk about hair texture, hair, live tutorials on the site, different types of things, but really dealing and honing in on hair and style. So that will be coming up. And I'm looking forward to having certain conversations in my Facebook group.
Well, I will have to keep an eye out for that and join it when you do it. And then when you have the YouTube channel, is it going to be Queen of Spades Style? It won't be your name. It'll be Queen of Spades Style.
Yes, it'll be everything will be Queen of Spades Style. Yes. You're right.
All righty. Well, I've had you for an hour, so I'm going to let you go, but I've really appreciated your time, Monifa. I always have fun talking with you. I'm so thankful to you for being in my book also. And thanks for everything that you're doing, and thanks for your service.
Thank you.
And thanks everybody for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye.